and then you're done.
All right, we'll discuss the requirements and then the prompts as well. I'll hand out papers on Friday. I'll also hand back your quiz. I haven't graded them just yet because I haven't had time, but I'll hand those back on Friday. And the same thing will happen if you don't like your grade, take that home with you, and over that whole break, just bring it back the next time that we meet. And I mean, it won't be me teaching, it'll be Mrs. Econger, but I'll just take them from you and then I can issue you a different grade. Yeah.
So what would happen if I was to write a 735-word essay?
I have to deduct some points.
Why?
Because part of it is following instructions.
I tried to, but then I write too many words.
Yeah, you gotta cut it down a little bit.
I can't.
You can. No,
I don't have the prompt.
I already talked to your mom about it. I know your struggles. I know.
Your struggles are being... No, my struggle is just having too many words.
All right. You have 2 chances left to interact. If you haven't really interacted and, I don't know, answered some questions of your own volition, you're probably going to want to start chiming in every now and then because you have a grade based on performance, right? A lot of you have done great and you've been like, oh, I think it's because of this or this happened. That's great. But if I'm having to call on you because you haven't really ever said a peep during any of the classes, you're not at a very good grade just yet. So chime in. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts about things. I want to hear some answers about things. All right, so we started on book 3. Book 3 is not as long as book 2, but it is a bit longer than book 1. So we're right in the middle.
No, we're at the end.
At the end of the book. Right in the middle. Actually, it's almost the middle of the book as well. We're slightly over halfway. So where are we starting? We keep jumping forward in time a lot of the time, but at which we're going to continue to do throughout book 3.
793.
No.
92.
No. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where we are. I hope you're keeping track of it. 92. You said 93.
I said 93 because I was scared that it was going to be, we've got another year.
Because you always want to go over. We know.
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at chapter 1. We left off with Darnay riding furiously to Paris because what's the problem? Why does he need to run to Paris?
With his friends.
His loyal servant was put in jail.
Yeah. He's thrown in prison, yeah, and he wrote a letter to him essentially saying, please save me, like try to save me. And I mean, he asked for he wanted the same for himself when he was going through what he was going through, right? He was arrested, imprisoned, and then brought to trial, and everybody wanted him dead. So he knows how it feels, plus this is his friend. He's a man of honor. He's going to go and try to save his friend, even though he knows it's probably a lost cause, and it will probably end in his life being taken from him as well, even though he escaped death once already because he was recalled to life by whom? Yeah, both the Manettes, really. I mean, Lucy Manette definitely revived his soul for certain. Dr. Manette, his testimony was important too. Both of their testimonies were really important. I want you guys to think back about the trial. Who were the witnesses who were testifying against Darnay in the first place? Do you remember their names? I know this is a long time ago.
The spy.
Mm-hmm. There were 2 of them. Roger Clyde, Barsad. Barsad. Mm-hmm. Okay.
John Barsad.
I don't remember his first name, honestly. I just always refer to their last name, and then I end up forgetting their first names.
You get extra credit if you find out his first name.
Extra credit. You do get participation points. Yeah. Okay, so there were 2 people who were testifying against Charles Darnay, accusing him of being a spy, right? In reality, yeah, we have some double agents kind of going on here, accusing an innocent man. But luckily, Darnay gets off. He's fine. But now he's jeopardizing his life once again. But it's for a noble cause. Like he can't just let this go. That letter was heartbreaking as well. That's why the final lines of the letter, he's yelling them out as he's writing off. Okay. So we have him. He gets to France. What is the atmosphere like right now in France?
Yeah.
Or at least in Paris. I mean, it is kind of erupting throughout France. But yeah, in Paris particular, it's the hub of violence there. This is where it's all broken out. This is where the Bastille was stormed. This is where the Defarges live, and they're kind of, behind the scenes manipulating the whole uprising of this underground revolution. And so he's going right into the line of fire, you could say. Like, this is the front lines. If you're going into the war, this would be the front lines. We're going to talk more about that here in a few more chapters. I want to give you some background on why it's important that Dickens has Darnay go back to Paris at this particular year in history. Dickens was pretty genius. It seems like for the first half of the book, there's all these random characters. Some are kind of connected. Others, you're like, why is this random story popping up? Why did we hear about, I don't know, Barsad and Cly, and now we haven't heard about them for like 30 chapters?
No, we did hear about Clyde's death.
We did, right? But then now we've got some names popping back up. He's going to bring them all back together. He's going to tie up all the loose ends. And you're going to see why he was considered a genius author of his time, because the story not only incorporates a ton of characters and a ton of different events, but also he's keeping true to history in the sense of some of the events that happen, although the main characters are not real people. He's timing it out really well as well. So we have Darnay coming back to France at a very crucial time in history. And he encounters who? I mean, when he gets there, eventually, yeah, but when he gets there, who's roaming the streets, essentially?
Citizens.
Are they neutral citizens? Huh? They're revolutionaries, right? They're on one side because the government was overthrown, right? The revolutionaries are kind of taken over. They have a lot of the authorities on their side anyway, as far as like guards or police. They have a lot of those on their side, the soldiers and everything. And so they have kind of control of France, but not really. It's kind of just this headless blender. No pun intended. I know we're going to talk about the guillotine here soon.
What year did Charles go back to Paris?
What year did he go back? 92. 1792. 1992.
Recently.
All right, so what happens to Darnay? Freddie, what happens to Darnay?
He gets taken to prison.
He gets why? Why does he get taken to prison? This is important.
He gets ratted out.
I mean, you can tell this guy riding through the streets, like, he's not one of us, right? He's probably dressed a lot nicer. Huh? Kind of. They would consider that to be the case because if you're not with them, you're against them, right? There's no neutrality.
Is that part of it because he's related to the
He's related by blood to the Evremonts. They would know who that is probably. At least the people in this region would know, right? Like Saint Antoine, because he was kind of the lord over that region.
They say he's a foreigner.
They know he's a foreigner for sure.
I still don't understand how to figure out what he's never. I missed that.
I'm sure that this was a big scandal. We know that the Evremont estate was stormed as well. It was, I mean, he was next in line to be the heir to that estate and the rule that would come with it as well. And so just that, out.
Yeah, but I don't know how they knew it was.
How they could tell just by looking at him. When you have that many people in the revolution, like all these different soldiers and things, you're going to have somebody who says, hey, I know that guy. Kind of like Jesus's trial, and then they're like, hey, you were with him, right? No, not me, Peter. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how well people can remember people that they hate. That's the state of the heart, right? All right, so he's taken. Luckily, they don't kill him before they get there. Like, he's taken as prisoner, but he's put in La Fosse prison in secret. Why is that bad?
Because the guillotine.
I mean, you can get the guillotine used on you regardless of where you are. He's not really, not so much in fear of the guillotine. Why do you think, Lincoln? Why would it be bad to be put into prison in secret? Yeah, you're forgotten. Forever. Okay, you're by yourself. It's like isolation. Forever. Family can't come and see you. Nobody can bring you anything. So, like, if you're starving and the guards just decide they don't want to deal with you anymore, you're just going to starve to death.
Yeah.
All right, so he's brought in secret, and then he asks, because he still doesn't know who all these players are in the background. He actually has no idea who all these secret revolutionaries are. So he asks Defarge to tell Mr. Lorry of his imprisonment, because he knows Mr. Lorry will then tell his family, and Mr. Lorry will at least know maybe what to do, if not just to at least protect his family. But Defarge says what?
No.
No, heck no. Which is, I mean, can you imagine being locked up? Like, what's the first thing, if you got arrested, God forbid, one of you gets arrested, you're put in jail, what's the first thing you want to do?
Call mom.
Yes, you want your phone call, right?
Call my lawyer.
I want to, yeah, well, your dad would probably be, no, but he probably would figure it out real quick, wouldn't he? Yeah, you want to call someone. You want someone to know I'm here because someone on the outside will care about me on the inside, and maybe they can help me get out of here.
Just don't call Chris. I would ask for a gun.
They'd say no, so you'd be out of luck.
Okay, fine. I'd ask for a pitchfork then.
Would you like me to play a lot? Hey, officers, can I please have a gun?
Grayson's going to get a beating. That's what's going to happen. All right, so he's in secret. And he sees all the other prisoners. They look like ghosts or like dead men to him. So once again, he does too. Yeah, they look at one another, and the prisoners actually feel sorry for him, and he has no idea why, which is very ominous. If they look like death and they've been there a long time, and they're facing the guillotine, if they ever get a trial, and they're looking at him and saying, oh my goodness, you got it bad. That's scary, right? That would be way worse. So once again, we see the theme of buried alive. Hopefully there's a recalling back to life. Okay. Once again, so he was resurrected, now he's back in the grave. There's a lot of this, yeah.
He died.
He dies. Well, I mean, we all die.
No, he died. He died like at the end of the book.
I read the end and
Did you read the last
All right. We'll see if that's true. We'll come back to that this Friday, and we'll see if Grayson is right.
I
Okay.
read the last chapter. He died. She's
Well,
smiling.
you-
Of course he died.
We'll see if you guys are right.
Sit in the car and talk to him while he goes.
Freddie, you should know, right? You know. Okay. All
He
right.
died.
All right. So don't tell them. Just let them languish in their curiosity there.
My curiosity is gone.
All right. So let's go to the next chapter. We have, what time does this class get out again? 11.
No,
It's right there on the
it's
board.
written on the board.
Oh, sweet.
10:30.
11. 11. Okay, next chapter. We're going to fly through this real quick.
And then 11:30. 11:35.
Wait, you don't want to do physical science?
All right, so he's still in prison. We're kind of going to fly through this one. He's still in prison. And there's definitely a distinction where while Defarge helped Mr. Lorry in the very beginning, now he's actually the one who's imprisoning Darnay. So there's like this flip-flop of character here. Mr. Lorry, he's really concerned about all the violence that's going on once again, because he travels back and forth between Paris and England. And he is worried about the Paris branch of Tellson's Bank, right? He thinks that it's possible that he could maybe salvage some things from there before it's just completely like burned to the ground, which it's already like decrepit enough. It's essentially everything in there is just, I don't know what would be salvageable, but
Why can't they just burn the building?
they probably will. Lucy tells him that the revolutionaries have taken Charles, her husband, as prisoner. Okay. And then there's a mob outside, which, do you remember chapters ago, it was a couple weeks ago, where they're sitting, I would assume in their parlor, they're listening to the footsteps outside. And I believe it's Sidney Carton says that there will be a great many people coming into their lives soon. Almost like this prophecy, this foreboding.
Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy.
Wasn't it Lucy? He was talking with Lucy.
Yeah.
But I think when she commented on all the footsteps outside and was wondering what all these people were doing with their lives, I think that he said that in response, but I could be wrong.
During your lecture about this, Lucy said that she thought a bunch of those people were going to come in.
Like I said, I could be wrong. We read a lot, right? All right, so what is the mob doing outside? Something
Grindstone.
specific. Yeah, the grindstone. What is the grindstone used for?
Sharpening weapons.
Sharpening weapons. In particular,
Knives.
in this case,
Guillotine.
axe, which represents the guillotine. Yeah. So why is Lucy so troubled by this? I mean, it's a sign of, what's going to happen. Well, not only to her husband, but like the state of the world outside. She's no longer safe, even in her own home. So this is a really big turning point in history. We talked about the storming of the Bastille and how bad that was, but it's nothing in comparison of what's coming. They begin butchering prisoners at La Force, right? And that's where her husband is. Yes.
How did the mob find their home?
How did the mob find their home? Well, it's the same. I mean, look, Madame Defarge is in charge of all of this, right? And she knits every piece of information about the person that she's condemning to make sure that she's registered it all. So they know exactly where to find them, who's their friends, what do they look like, how wealthy are they, where do they live? So they're not going to have any trouble finding any of them. Yeah.
It was Lucy.
The golden-haired doll.
Yeah, she said that I have imagined them the footsteps of the people who are to come into my life and my father.
What does Sydney say also? Is it Sydney or is it her husband? It's Sydney, right?
It's Carter. No, but I like Carter better.
All right. So Dr. Manette comes into the picture and he thinks that he could actually maybe do something to help Darnay. Like
He also said
he's-
something about that.
he's set free for a reason. Now he has the chance to set someone else free, maybe. Okay, so once again, we have this possibility of the recalling to life. Why would he think that he might be able to do something?
Because you're the prisoner of the mouse too.
And
Right?
his influence.
He's French, right? He was imprisoned by the enemies of the revolutionaries. And he was in prison for a very long time. So he met some people. And he met some people who were imprisoned there as well. So he might have some influence because they know, like, this guy was a victim. He's a hero.
Yay.
And we trust him for the most part. We trust him because we know what he's been through. We know which side he's on. So he believes that he can actually have some sway. So chapter 3, going right on by. Mr. Lorry decides that the bank could be endangered. Once again, he's concerned about the bank. So he leaves, and he leaves who behind to look after the family? Jerry.
Oh,
Jerry,
yeah.
Jerry Cruncher.
Why does he trust Jerry so much?
I mean, he's kind of a big oaf of a guy who, like, I mean, he's a strong arm, right? He knows only one thing, and that's pretty much violence.
Yeah.
So maybe it might be the right guy. I don't know. He's not that intelligent, but
What's intelligence?
he's really strong. So,
He's brain dead, but really strong.
okay. So we have that happening. We have Defarge. And when I say Defarge, I don't mean Madame Defarge. I will say Madame Defarge when I'm talking about her. But we have Defarge. He's delivering a message to Mr. Lorry from the doctor, which states that Darnay is safe-ish, but also that Defarge has a note from Darnay to Lucy. Yes.
Just have this tiny thing. So you have yet
It's always
to
tiny
mess up. Over the last week, you have yet to mess up Mr. Lorry's name.
I know, I'm really glad about that. If I don't put the two names together, his first and last name, I probably won't mess it up. That's why I do like just last name. Okay. So this is an interesting point in the book. Madame Defarge and the Vengeance, her assistant, they decide to join Mr. Lorry. Why would they want to do that? To go see Lucy? Why? Out of the goodness of their heart.
No,
Just so kind, right?
because they want to kill Lucy.
Right, they want to just wipe out the entire family because why not? Why would a revolutionary want to just destroy the entire lineage? Just any revolutionary, let's say. Why would that be?
So that they can't get revenge for killing the other people.
Revenge is a good one. Yeah, they can't get any generational revenge. Like the kids can't grow up and then take revenge, right? Also, you never know who's a spy. I mean, the wife might be doing some spying too. You never know. She has some sympathy, maybe. Why would Madame Defarge want to kill them and the children? She is solely about revenge. And not only that, but she takes pleasure in torturing people. We're going to see that with Darnay pretty soon. So they sit down, okay? Lucy has no idea that this woman is there for malicious purposes. Okay, she probably tells her too much. But what does Madame Defarge do?
She just sits there and knits.
She's just listening, right? Observing. Why is she knitting?
And then Lucy takes her hand and the hand is freezing.
Why is what can we assume from her knitting at that moment where she is?
The information.
Not just the information, but what specifically?
Kill someone.
What
Who?
she said.
She's knitting what Lucy looks like.
And
What she said.
Lucy Jr.
Little Lucy.
Little Lucy Jr.
Why
All right.
is it little Lucy though?
She's little.
What? Well,
She's younger than her mother.
why don't we give her a different name?
I don't know.
Like Lucy Ellen.
Because it was,
Or what? Why don't they spell the name different? Like in
Yeah, it would either be Lucy Jr. or Little Lucy, and Little Lucy is a little more feminine than Lucy Jr.
about Big Lucy.
Big Lucy, and maybe we should say that from now on. We should say that from now on.
Big Lucy. So wait. Why didn't they
Okay,
change her
I
name?
want us to remember the comparisons and contrasts between Lucy and Madame Defarge. What does Lucy embody? What does she represent? Because like we said,
Hope.
Dickens didn't write her to be like a real woman. He wrote her to be like the archetype of femininity. Love, hope, what else? Goodness, compassion, what else?
Gentleness.
Gentleness, Life. She's a life giver.
She has no graciness about her.
She doesn't what?
No grace. He said she has graciness. I said there is no graciness. Otherwise,
Yeah.
everybody would already be dead.
Yeah, we would all strangle ourselves.
All right. What about Madame Defarge? What about her?
Cold, calculating.
Dead on the inside.
She's the exact opposite in every way,
Yeah, she's a
right?
She's a Grayson.
So she's not a life giver, she's a life taker. Okay? She's despair, hopelessness, torment. No, there's no mercy. She's completely ruthless. Okay? She's selfish in that she only wants she wants what she wants, which is revenge. And she will carry that out at anyone's expense, and she does not care. Even her own husband does not have the same motivation as her, and she will use him to get what she wants.
Does she kill him?
I thought you knew everything. You read the end of the book.
No, I didn't. I didn't see. I didn't read to
All right,
the end of the
let's
book.
get through this. Chapter 4. After 4 days, okay, we know that it's 4 days later. Okay. Dr. Manette, he finally returns from the prison. What was he able to do? Because he went there in hopes of being able to set his son-in-law free, but what was he able to do?
He was able to get him out of security.
Yeah,
And they did immediately.
he got his guarantee that he's safe, he's okay, he's not going to just be sentenced to death. Do I need to move, you guys?
Yes.
Come on. Do I?
Yes.
Come up to the front, Grayson.
I'm taking my coffee.
That's my cup.
It's coffee.
Yeah, no, it's mine now.
I appreciate knowing your limitation. All right. Matthew, scoot back over. I know you can't handle it. You guys, I'll move you too if you don't. All right.
I have never sat in the front before.
It's nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
No, the whiteboard's too big.
Okay, so Dr. Manette was not able to free him, but he was able to kind of secure his freedom. This is important because I'm going to give you a little rundown of what was going on. Remember I said that this was a really important time in history when Darnay rode over to Paris? It was like the peak of violence, essentially. This is when the Reign of Terror began. Have you heard of that during the French Revolution, the Reign of Terror? It's very fitting for what was going on because the French Revolution, huh?
They showed it, Mr. Peabody Pyramid.
Like the animated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that?
Yeah, because Maria
It's terrible.
was having a party and then they did the Reign of Terror.
Okay, that might have been a little exaggerated. She did have a lot of parties though. She did kind of bankrupt.
There was like a bunch of
France.
back and then they ran through. And there was a giant mob chasing after them.
All right, let me read about the Reign of Terror.
Sherman was gonna eat cake and then he said
The Reign of Terror was a period of intense violence and mass executions. It was carried out to eliminate suspected enemies of the revolution. Okay? So, like, you've got people reporting on one another. We've seen this all throughout history, okay? Especially in Russia. You've seen this a lot, right? Communism makes you do this. Okay, so when you take God out, you take out the rulers who, whether good or evil, they were placed there. And we are supposed to submit in as far as we are not disobeying God, right? But they were not really just rulers. But you take those out, you have a void there, and it's going to be filled. And it's going to be filled with the most ruthless person because somebody has got to be in power. And so this is what starts going on. Neighbor turning against neighbor. Thousands were arrested and executed, primarily by the guillotine, because it was the quickest, generally the most painless. An estimated 17,000 people were officially executed, and tens of thousands more were arrested and died in prison or killings across France. So those further revolts. This is when Charles Darnay is heading over to Paris. At La Force prison, there were between 1,100 prisoners to 1,400 prisoners who were executed from just the revolutionaries going in and executing people in La Fosse. So Darnay, if Dr. Manette had not gone over there, Darnay would be dead, for certain. Okay.
Oh, boo.
So Dickens specifically chose this time, and this was during the September massacres. In the Reign of Terror, he specifically chose this time for Darnay to be imprisoned. He also highlights the de-Christianization movement, Lincoln and Fred.
Yeah.
He chose the de-Christianization movement. He wants to focus on that in how the revolutionaries began to attack all religion, which the major religion, you've got Christianity, right? The new government that they institute then declares that the only religion of France is the religion of liberty and equality. Sounds great, right? Liberty and equality, yeah. Who says? Who says what liberty you get? Who says what is equal? What's the standard there? All right, no God, but yet we need liberty and equality. Why? Who says? Who cares? There's no God who's going to judge what's right and wrong. Leave it to man to judge what's right and wrong. Where could that go wrong?
At the absolute beginning of the sentence.
Exactly. So they vandalized churches, they forced priests to marry, they renamed the Notre Dame Cathedral the Temple of Reason. This sounds like paganism, right? They say no religion, but yet here, what are they doing? I mean, come on. So Dickens, he focuses on this and he almost satirizes it because he calls it year one of liberty. Look at all the liberty that's going on. We're going to liberate your head from your body. There's the liberty that's going on. Chapter 5. So Lucy goes to prison to visit. She wants to see her husband, but she's not getting to see her husband. She stands outside for 2 hours every single day. And what's going on outside as she's standing there? What is he doing? Yeah, the wood sawyer, huh? There's a lot going on. Before that, the very first thing that she's seeing each day is she's being tormented by this wood sawyer. What is he doing?
It's my little guillotine. I chopped the wood off with its head in the basket.
But he's not just pretending like it's a guillotine and it's wood. He's tormenting her and her daughter, right? Making it seem like you're going to get your heads chopped off. Yeah. This is very evil. To torment a little girl like that as well, that's so evil. Yeah. Imagine if we just removed all God and rule and just decided to start all the way over again.
Do you chop off a human's head? Do they flop around like chicken?
Not unless they were flopping around right before, like right when it happened.
Like a chicken that just walked around.
I've done a whole study on exactly what happens with that. This is actually something that I know about. We'll not go into those details right now.
Aww.
All right, so the woodcutter, he is tormenting Lucy. And what does Lucy do? This shows her character once again. What does she do? How does she respond to him? Because he's doing this every day. Did you not catch what she does? Huh? She gives him money. She actually talks to him too. She tries to humanize not only herself and her child, but him. We're human beings. Like, please don't treat us this way. Like, I'm going to give you money. She had compassion for him. Is it the right decision? I don't know. But she definitely has a different response than anyone else during that time would. They repay violence with violence. Okay. All right, so, and then we see Madame Defarge walking by and greeting Lucy. Like, this is just, what a nice day outside today.
Great.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just so polite and wonderful.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
How
just
do you do?
ignoring you.
Isn't Paris wonderful this time of year?
No.
And besides, she's going right by the prison as well. So why? Why? Why are you heading that way? That's not where your house is. Anyway, chapter 6. All right, it's at the trial. once again, we see this repetition. Darnay is once again on trial. Okay, but this time, is he going to get off? Is he going to be free? Is he going to be fine? Sort of. So,
He gets arrested. Yeah.
Darnay offers a very good defense of himself. But does that matter?
No.
Oh. If you're guilty in the eyes of the populace already, I mean, it's not going to matter when there's a revolution going on. Because even if you got released, like, you got to worry about mobs. And Madame Defache, right? All right, so they're unconvinced. It doesn't matter. He gave his testimony. Who cares about facts? But then who steps up? Dr. Manette. It's his time to finally shine. He can repay the kindness that was done to him in his recalling to life. He's paying it forward, right? And Mr. Laurie as well testifies on his behalf. What happens then? This is a weird, unexpected move that happens.
That he's like innocent and,
Yay, Darnay! He's our hero. What?
and they're rushing
You were calling for his head just a second ago. How does that make sense? Dickens does this to show how fickle and easily swayed the crowd is. Now, for Darnay in this moment, that's a good thing. But how does that look when we're talking about as time goes on? Not good. It can easily go the other way against anybody, right? All right, so once again, he's resurrected. He's recalled to life. Matthew, he's recalled to life. All right, he's declared innocent once again. He embraces his whole family. Everybody's happy. The end. We can go home. No.
Yeah. All right, no, we can't. We still got. Where are we on right now?
All right, 7. Now we're on 7. Do you memorize what happens in each chapter by the number?
No.
I don't either.
Yo,
That's why I have to look at all the notes that I print out and like highlight special things.
I
And
just don't one.
it's too much.
Let's look at the title.
Now we're
Wait, which one are we at? 6 or 7.
Don't
All right.
you dare.
all right.
That was awesome.
All right. I can do way cringier things. Don't push me.
Cringe that.
Okay, so we have all of that happened. He's free. He's free to go home, right? And the family is doing just fine. They're in their house. It's evening. Mrs. Pross decides to go shopping with.
Why did she take Jerry? I still don't understand.
When Jerry holds the basket, she takes the money, right?
I mean,
The honest tradesman.
the honest tradesman. All right, so what do they see when they go out?
He's probably that up so long.
Solomon.
Solomon. Who's Solomon? John. Who's Solomon?
Not there yet.
This
Who's Solomon?
sister. John.
The guy from the Bible.
Yeah.
Now, that's an important aspect. Good guess, because it actually does tie in. Dickens has several times tied in biblical references. This is also another biblical reference. We have this appearance of holiness, but underlying, we have these evil motivations of things. It's a facade, really. So who's really Solomon?
See Miss Cross's brother.
He is Miss Pross's brother, who is Barsad.
Wait, really? He's a spy.
Yes. Wait, really? What? Did you not read it?
I didn't know that he was a spy.
Oh, this may have been a confusing part of the...
It was very confusing.
He's Barsad, okay? He's a no-good, rotten, dirty, down thief, okay?
Oh.
He's just not a good guy. He makes his living by taking advantage of other people, and of course he's a spy. So, she recognizes him. She freaks out. She's told, be quiet, shh, you're gonna give me away. Because he's kind of in hiding, sort of. He's in hiding in public. All right.
Like, it's like he doesn't love her at all, or
No, he only cares about himself, right? So, where did we leave off?
We get to use the guillotine on him.
Well, you'll have to keep reading and find out. All right, so he informs them of several different things. Okay. One of the things that they find out is that Darnay is a prisoner again. Why? He just had a trial. He was declared innocent. Isn't this double jeopardy?
3 other people testified against him.
Yeah, there's no double jeopardy. The people are in charge, right? There is no God. God is dead. That was what was declared. Okay. So we have that revelation. What else?
Robert Clyde's still alive.
Robert Cly is not dead, even though we saw his funeral procession and the coffin. What was inside of the coffin? Rocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
box of rocks.
So where is he? Roger Cly. He's just hanging around. Okay. So then we see that the accusers of Darnay are the Defarges and who else? This third person that we don't name him. He's like Voldemort. We don't want to say his name. But we kind of get a glimpse of how Madame Defarge likes to mess with her victims. She really delights in torturing people. So she was actually kind of like smug about Darnay getting declared innocent the first time. Like, happy. Yeah. Because she knew, I'm just going to put him back in prison. I love this. He gets a glimpse of freedom. He's happy. And then I do it all over again.
And then I kill him.
She actually delights in this kind of stuff. Her husband, on the other hand, is very nervous about this kind of thing. He knows what his wife is capable of. And you can tell he's not calling the shots. She has the power over the people. And so therefore she has the power in their marriage. He doesn't want to get declared like an enemy or something like that as well. He knows what she's capable of. All right, so she enjoys this suffering. Last chapter, because we've got 5 minutes. Oh no, that we are on the last chapter. I'm sorry, that is the last chapter. Because we didn't go to 9, right? I told you 1 through 8, correct?
Behind you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to read ahead of you guys and then I forget where we stop. Okay. I have to remind you guys because sometimes you're like, well, why? Because I don't know why, okay?
It seems like you have to remind yourself that.
It's like a Jerry Cruncher. What?
What?
All right, so Roger Cly, he's the other police spy from England. He's now in France. He's working as an informant. And he's the third person that is essentially helping out the Defarges. He likes to play both sides. It doesn't matter as long as he can get whatever he needs. He'll throw anybody under the bus. Yes.
You haven't done any of the accent you promised.
Did she ever promise you that?
I did some. Like which one? I haven't really read much dialogue,
Yeah.
so it'd be really hard to do. Just me talking in a different accent, just in general.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would appreciate that.
Was it Solomon John Barstaff or Roger Clyde that went to the colleges?
No.
At the,
No. It's mine.
because like a while ago, like there was a story there. This is my food.
So, I can't remember. I'd have to look in the book. Because Marsad is Mrs. Pross's brother. Roger Clyde, he's kind of laying low, but he's still working together as an informant as well. Like they haven't learned their lesson. They're still involved in all of this. So I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and read. So I'm near the end of the book. I've read it before, but I have to read through it all again. And I'll tell you, like a year from now, maybe even just a few months from now, you guys are not going to remember like half of the things that happened in the book. But it's not really all of the fine details. It's this interweaving of this story and the themes that run throughout. So what are several of the themes? We know the big one is what? Recalled to life, which goes along with
The golden thread.
the golden thread, yes, but being buried alive. This is good. I'm going out like the last couple minutes of this class. I'm glad I made it through.
should have 20 seconds.
I mean, I have a little longer than that. We're going to go by that. What else? What else is another theme that goes on throughout this book?
I don't know what happens when you don't have authority. You're just
I mean, yeah, good one. Yeah, rule and authority.
Did you have to do that?
This is, until it was commandeered by children, like middle schoolers, this was a common,
Like, I don't know.
Either or.
no, what were you born like in 2 years ago? This is a common gesture that people make.
Yeah, it's either or.
And you guys used to do that constantly until this whole 6-7 thing, and then you're like, oh, that's a 6-7. No, it's fine. It's totally normal.
Grayson's like dying. This is how we work.
You can die of cringe all you want.
Can we put them in a hole and then we just start dropping bombs on them?
Them,
Yes.
we cannot.
Why not?
Because we are not a part of the French Revolution right now.
Why can't we be?
I'm not Madame Defarge. Okay. And you're not the Jacques.
I want to
Okay.
be Jacques.
Jacques?
I had a question. Why do all the Jacques wear red caps?
What about huh?
It's blue caps, right?
No, it's red.
It is red?
It might be red.
They change from blue to red. That's right. When they become a revolutionary, they take off the blue cap and they change. Because Paris is represented by blue. Did you know that? So, yeah, this red cap is, I mean, this is something that happens throughout all of history. Like there's some sort of a uniform for the comrades of one side or the other. You have to know who's on your team. Right? Just like in sports.
And then we kill everybody.
And then we kill everybody. I mean, that's what's happened many, many times throughout history. All right, so you guys are going to have to finish the book out by Friday. We're going to come and talk about it. I will give you the prompt or 2 prompts. One, you choose one of them, whichever one you'd want to write. We'll have several requirements for this paper. It'll be 500 to 600 words. It'll be about the prompt, right? You should do it as nicely as you can in like an MLA type format, right? Just don't make a mess of it. You have to handwrite this one. You cannot type it up. It's not my requirement. I talked to Mrs. Schaff. She's the one who said I want them handwriting it. Have to handwrite.
How do we know how many letters or words we have?
You just,
That's like
I'll have to ask her, but generally speaking, I mean, a paragraph can be like, typically a paragraph's like 100, 150, I don't know. It depends how short your paragraphs are.
Writing like 500 words.
Yeah, I'll ask her. I would say, I'm not going to count all your words, obviously. I'm not going to count them all.
So as long as it's one page, we're
But I want to see a good amount. I want to see a good amount.
We just typed it out and counted the words and then we wrote it down.
You can do however you
Well,
want.
yeah, because
then I'm gonna do that.
You can do however you want. I'll ask her about it, but this is the requirement that she's put forward. So unless it changes by Friday and I'll let you know, that's what it is. So prepare yourselves.
Why does she want it handwritten?
She
we do to deserve this
she likes to see you suffer, just like Madame Defarge. No.
I knew I